Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I want to, hello. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I want to come at our identity from a different vein tonight. I would like to talk about leper consciousness tonight. So, a leper is a person who is avoided or rejected by others for moral or social reasons. Consciousness is the awareness of existence. Leper consciousness is the awareness of existence of something internal inside of us that is unclean or unnatural, and that leads to internal disfigurement and a delusion that we're unsuitable to enter the presence of a pure and holy God. Leper consciousness, I think, can sneak up on us, and I think it's one of the most detrimental things standing in our way of truly believing who the Father says we are. Leprosy, as a disease at the root, is a nerve issue. So, when you have leprosy, if you get a cut, you can't feel it. And we all know that a cut that goes unattended can become infected. And if an infection goes unattended, it can lead to amputations. Likewise, leper consciousness operates the same way. If we become numb to a situation, a feeling, an environment, we become numb and we can't feel when we're hurt there. It leads to an amputation of things that were originally designed to be a part of us. It leads to an amputation of parts of ourselves that were originally intended to be a part of us. And it amputates things in our lives that were part of our original design. Relationships, family, relationships with the Father, total destruction of our identity, of understanding and knowing who we are. In a physical amputation, there are these things called phantom pains that even if the body part is not there, you can still feel pain where that body part used to be. If we become numb to the pain of a feeling, a relationship, or a situation, it can over time be removed from our life. And depending on what that is, we can get into this, well, all it ever did was cause me pain, so it might as well go away. Or all it ever did was hurt me, and so you might as well cut it out. Enter phantom pains. That just because something's been removed or cut out doesn't mean we're no longer going to feel pain in that area. The only cure for pain is attention. We all know that cliche line of there's purpose in the pain, right? I roll my eyes at it because I'm like, I know, I get it. But legitimately, right? Our bodies and our nervous system was designed that when we're hurt somewhere, it's meant to bring attention to the pain so that we can fix it. The only cure for pain is attention. I want us to wake up every part of our body, every part of ourselves, every part of our spirit that's become numb over time. I want us to wake up every nerve so that we can get to the root of anything that's causing us pain, anything that's causing amputations in our life, anything that is hurting us and we don't even know it anymore because we don't even know it exists anymore. In that, I want it to wake up old dreams, old desires, aspirations we used to have before some of these amputations took place. Our identity is damaged when people speak things over us that don't align with how we were created, right? Gosh, you're so naughty. I'm really disappointed in you. Thought you were better than that. You never follow through with anything. You name it, right? And I'm sure I've been guilty of saying some things over people that doesn't align with their identity. And so when you're told these things, you're annoying, you're too much, can you just stop? Get out of my face, you're driving me nuts, right? Any of those things, the more that they're spoken in those places, we start to become numb. Whether it's a coping mechanism or just straight up survival, right? That if we become numb, we can't be hurt. If we become numb in those places, at the very base, we're not allowed to love ourselves there. And then we're not allowed to receive love in those areas either. The question in life is not, am I going to be hurt? Right? The question should be, will I become numb? And will we be brave enough to stay connected to the Father and be so grounded in our identity that it's not going to matter, right? What people say over us, what situations we come up to, whatever hurt, whatever pain, that we're going to be brave enough to ask the question, right? Father, where am I numb? Because the kicker of this whole thing is if I'm numb there, I don't even know it exists. And this is not a thing to have you ask those questions and bring up kind of some old wounds and leave you there, right? It's so that we can figure out the places that have been removed, that are hurting, so that the Father can expose those areas and fix them and heal them, and then we get to be our true selves moving forward, right? We get to be how He created us to be in life, instead of with all of these nicks and cuts out of our original self. In 2 Kings chapter 5, there's a story of Naaman. So Naaman is a mighty warrior. He's decorated. On the outside, he has that uniform, but on the inside, Naaman suffers from leprosy. So he is sent to Elisha to visit a prophet who can heal him, right? So when he meets Elisha, he gets told to go immerse himself in the Jordan River 7 times and he'll be healed. Naaman's annoyed because it doesn't look like he thought it would. Elisha doesn't even come out and meet him. He sends some messengers to tell him this. There's some nicer rivers in the area. Why can't I go dunk myself in those? Jordan River, I don't like the way it looks. Thankfully, Naaman had some officers in his life that could kind of speak reason to him and talked him into going to the river. So Naaman goes to the Jordan River and he dunks himself 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. No changes. Still has leprosy. He gets to the 7th time and he comes up out of the water and his skin is completely healed. Right? It says that his skin is like a child's. It's perfect, right? Leper consciousness does the same thing to us, right? On the surface, people can see what we've worked for. People can see my confidence. People can see my humor. People can see my knowledge, if I'm educated, if I have degrees. But underneath it, on the inside, I have a disease, I have an issue that's eating me from the inside out. That's destroying me. That's destroying my nerves and my feelings. And so, like Naaman was sent to the Jordan River to immerse himself 7 times, I say that we need to immerse ourselves repeatedly with the living water, right? That Jesus is that constant immersion for us, that this isn't a one-stop shop, right? The one time he wasn't healed the first time he came out of the water. It's that repetition that heals us. I was on a call last night, and this lovely woman I met named Amanda had the question of how my head knows, right? My brain understands. How do I get it to my heart, right? How do I connect that 18 inches? And the answer given was repetition. That it takes our brain, which I would say is a coincidence, but it's not, right? That they say it takes our brain 7 times, takes ourselves 7 times to know something, to have it repeated, that we can really embrace it, right? That we know it now. And so my prayer is that we can repeatedly immerse ourselves in who the Father says that we are. That old wounds aren't going to keep us from acknowledging and believing who He says we are. Full acceptance and total wholeness is the starting point in this. You are fully accepted right now. You're not fully accepted and loved once you lose 30 pounds. You're not fully accepted once you kick your addiction. You're not fully accepted once you get straight A's. You're not fully accepted once you get your prayer life together and you're going to church every Sunday. You're completely whole and you're fully accepted right now. The only thing we need to do is to believe that and accept it. And at that point, we get to just sit back and let Holy Spirit do the work. We can't work ourselves into being more loved. We can't clean ourselves up enough to be loved more. You're completely whole right now. You're fully accepted right now. The spirit of full acceptance, which is what the Holy Spirit is called, eliminates the spirit of rejection. Rejection doesn't get to survive where full acceptance lives. In understanding and being very aware of our words, right? I want you to hear me when I tell you you're not broken. You may have broken parts in you. You're not lost. The Father's never lost you. You just can't see Him. And most of the time, all we have to do is turn around and we can see Him. But you're not lost. You're not damaged. You've went through things in your life that have damaged parts of you, parts of your brain, parts of your heart. You're not damaged. You are loved. You are whole. You are exactly as you ought to be. And the line that you're going to hear me say, the next phrases I'm going to say after this, you're going to hear me say them every time you listen to a message of mine. And it's not because it's a cute tagline. It's because anytime I have the opportunity to share the Father's heart about you to you, is I want to make sure I portray it accurately, and the only description I have for His love for you is perfect. So I love you. The Father loves you. You're perfectly loved. I'm going to see you next week.